Members of a nonprofit cemetery association in Georgetown say they're being double billed for family burial plots their relatives reserved years ago.
The proof, they say, is written in old ledgers the former caretaker kept. But they say new cemetery board members are not willing to show the books. KXAN's Robert Maxwell has this in-depth report.
5 acres. Dedicated to a final resting place.
Our sister passed away last February.
Ruben Vasquez's father knew his time would come and planned ahead, buying the family's burial plots 30 years ago. He did it with cash and a handshake.
They were basically not highly educated, but intelligent people who knew that a handshake meant something.
It was an honor system.
Honor system, definitely, especially in the Latino community. Honors everything.
They had to pay for it all over again.
But these plot owners say generations of honor evaporated in late 2011 when a new board of directors took over, when the caretaker retired. They say that caretaker, Richard Zavala, for years would record each transaction in a ledger. They now accuse the board of hiding the old ledgers and now charging families who couldn't show an original receipt.
They deserve to rest in peace.
That new reality hit the Vasquez family hard in 2012 when Vasquez's sister passed away and they were ordered to pay up for a plot they say was already theirs.
So how did she get buried here?
We paid.
What'd you have to pay?
My brother paid $250.
So it's like paying for the plot twice.
Correct.
But you didn't feel you had a choice.
We were under duress.
Who all here is frustrated by this? Just to show
That story is just one of dozens from members who agreed to meet with KXAN.
These plots belong to us. We've paid for them.
Norma Robles Adorno is leading the charge, even recreating this map of the cemetery based on information gleaned from plot holders.
They are calling our family members liars.
And this woman,
Then we ended up having to dig the hole also. So
less than an hour before burying her aunt in June, was told by the board treasurer there would be a surprise $150 fee.
I sat there and I argued, telling her that I didn't understand why I had to pay twice if my aunt's already paid.
What'd they say?
It's for the upkeep.
Those who bought plots here long ago in the 60s, 70s, and 80s say the former caretaker would allow them to put a concrete ring around the plots that they purchased. For them, that was more than enough proof that these plots were theirs for good and forever. But forever apparently comes with a price. When the new board formed, none of the plot owners we spoke to say they had a vote. And after frustrated members crashed one meeting to voice their concerns, they tell KXAN the board now meets in secret. We repeatedly reached out to the board president, Lorente Navarrete. When we recently showed up at the house Navarrete shares with his parents, he would not meet us face-to-face. We had questions about the whereabouts of the old ledgers, the existence of new bylaws, even who elected the board.
We've done our best to get in touch with you with emails and phone calls, and really just want to give you a fair shot.
The one-time Georgetown city councilman, now a high school criminal justice teacher, only sent us this earlier email, still not answering our questions. He writes, in late 2011, when informed the cemetery was in danger of being dissolved, abandoned, and just dumped to the city government, a group of community leaders and volunteers rose up to the challenge. Last week, the board's vice president did step outside his house to talk to us.
They're asking for the ledger. Can you provide the ledger to them?
Everything will be provided to them in the near future. It's not like we say. End of story.
How come it's you can't give me a date?
Because I don't know yet, but I know they're working on it.
Norma Robles Adorno is out of patience and now suing the board for access to his books as well as meeting and financial records.
He won't return calls.
Back at the cemetery, Ruben Vasquez fears the future won't be as peaceful for him or his loved ones.
For 40 years, Mr. Zavala ran this cemetery without any problems whatsoever, and this new board can't go 1 year without causing a lot of strife.